6 Nigerian Law School students abducted in Benue State are now being held for 20 million naira ransom each. The students were kidnapped Saturday while traveling from Onitsha to resume at the Yola campus after their externship break, according to reports confirmed by classmates and school sources. The abducted students include Reverend Ernest Okafo, Ogbuka Fabian, Nwama Philip, Okechukwu Obadegu, Obelem Emmanuel, and Obiora David. They were traveling through a volatile route between Wakari in Taraba and parts of Benue, an area notorious for criminal attacks on commuters. A classmate told reporters he initially doubted the news until he called one of the missing students and heard him scream over the phone that he had been kidnapped. The victim reportedly urged a colleague to raise 20 million naira to secure his release. Another student disclosed that he learned about the incident from the wife of one of the victims, who had reached out after contact with the kidnappers. School authorities have alerted Adamawa Police Command and are awaiting further updates. Police spokesperson in Adamawa, Yahaya Suleiman, confirmed awareness of the abduction but clarified that it happened outside the state. He said both Adamawa and Benue Police Commands were collaborating with other security agencies to rescue the students. This incident echoes a 2022 case where 2 students of the Agbani campus in Enugu were abducted from a local market. Law students and families are now calling for urgent intervention to prevent further tragedies. You know, the law school is technically where just seemingly has a little relation when you look at the youth service traveling interstate to get to do law school, depends on where you're posted. What are your thoughts on this report?
Now, the insecurity continues to stare us in the face.
Right.
But with respect to law school students, I would have thought that, back in the days, the only law school we had was in Lagos. So everybody in Nigeria was legal. I would have thought one of the reasons for having various law schools in different regions would have been to reduce
proximity.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
I don't know if that is the only reason, but if that is the case, I mean, if that would have been the case in this era of, or even if it is not the case, in this era of insecurity, maybe it would be okay for the authorities to do, I mean the law school authorities, the Nigerian Legal School or something, the body responsible for posting. I think maybe it would be fine to reduce the risk of travel by posting students, that's our potential students within their region as it were. Let's say a student of graduate from south. The closest to them would be Port Harcourt and Bayelsa. I think there is one in Bayelsa.
Yes.
We post them there. So
there's one in Port Harcourt also.
Yes, there's one in Port Harcourt. So as to reduce the risk of traveling long distance. But I also know that some regions may also have more students than the other.
Right.
Thereby stretching their facilities, who may also necessitate posting them to regions outside of their their normal place of convenience, and there may also be the need to use every opportunity in a country that is in their need of integration, maybe posting people across. But where security issues becomes very, very challenging, I think, like I said earlier, maybe the authorities should consider posting people within their region to avoid traveling too far. But beyond, all these things may just even be a stopgap measure. The basic thing is taking this fight against insecurity and winning it. How can we win this fight? These are things that should be challenging them. Because even if you say you won't post law school students outside of their region, there are other businesses that take people across zone where people would have to travel. I may have a business that take me to Adamawa State, to Yola State. Shouldn't I go? It may even be such a business that I don't have the wherewithal to go by flight. I mean, also going by road is even a way of, you want to enjoy the trip, So it still says the same thing to us. The security issues have not gone away, no matter what the authorities try to quote it.
We've been told we're winning the war against banditry.
Yeah, but to these people now who have been kidnapped, the war has not been won. To that family that are being asked to bring 20 million naira, maybe they don't even have 10 million, maybe they don't even have 5 million. The trauma they go through, and also to the individual, like the news said, they were traveling in late hours on Saturday. Please, as far as these insecurities continue, let's try as much as possible not to travel by night, especially to places that have been identified as hotbed for criminality. If you have been following the news, you know that this Ukari in Taraba State is notorious for criminals and kidnapping. So that's not a place you want to travel at night. Stop at the nearest.
But some people are not aware, of these areas. Let's say I'm traveling and I don't know this area.
Yeah, right. This also comes to being
as the transporters
are geographically aware, whether
right.
I've been there or not. There are certain things, if I make effort, I may find that. But beyond the persons finding out, the drivers, the transporters apply those routes. They
right.
know areas that are notorious for for crime and where to avoid. But unfortunately, we still have some situation where some people feel like, let's use the normal language, nothing they happen, let's try it because I went through that place and not yesterday and nothing happened. That doesn't mean you don't endanger people's lives. So I think it's also important to educate transporters that there are some regions for now that we have these security challenges. There are some regions that you shouldn't go. And when I say region, I don't necessarily want to reduce it to the geopolitical regions as
right.
well. Even within your state, even within your locality, there are regions you don't want to stay at night. Let me actually use the word region again to explain what I mean. For example, even if you're in Port Harcourt here,
right,
there are regions of Port Harcourt, let me use that word loosely now, that you don't want to be at night. For example, I don't want to be at my tree bus stop around 10 p.m. Even if nothing happens there, but what you hear about that place, I'd rather be somewhere else,
right.
At that time of the day. So common sense should also tell you there are places where you don't want to be. If you must meet up the resumption, maybe instead of traveling Saturday, travel on Friday. Just like if you look at the southeastern region of Nigeria now, given the sit at home on Monday, I see people travel on Monday, fine. But if you consider the possibility of something going wrong, for me as a person, I would rather avoid that Monday morning journey as much as it's within my power than attempting, because everybody says, oh, nothing has been happening, until we are totally sure
right.
that nothing, that it's safe. As far as there is still an element
doubt
of absolutely, don't endanger yourself.
Thank you so much.